The film opens in a dimly lit mahjong parlor, thick with smoke and tension. Here, we find an undercover detective named Dragon, expertly disguised among the criminals that surround him. His body is a canvas of tattoos, and his street attire allows him to blend effortlessly into the rough crowd. Seated at a bustling card table, he finds himself encircled by hardened thugs, their voices rising in a cacophony of shouts. The atmosphere shifts as a rival gang leader confronts Dragon, delivering an ultimatum. He must win a high-stakes game against three of them or face the grim fate of his two friends, who have unwittingly trespassed into enemy territory. Despite the suffocating tension, Dragon remains unfazed. With calm determination, he plays his hand with surgical precision, outmaneuvering his opponents and securing the release of his friends while simultaneously humbling the gang leader. However, the rival boss refuses to let Dragon leave unscathed. He demands a physical confrontation, and the crowd quickly parts to create a makeshift arena for their clash. The two men engage in a brutal brawl, and Dragon showcases his fighting prowess. The gang's fury ignites as his adversaries, armed and vengeful, surge forward to finish what they started. Caught in a desperate fight for survival, Dragon deftly navigates through a storm of weapons, countering their attacks with brutal efficiency before making a narrow escape into a shadowy alleyway. There, he encounters his police handler, who urgently instructs him to keep moving and assures him that help will come for his injured allies. Meanwhile, we are introduced to Sonny, a formidable and ruthless gangster whose ambition knows no bounds. He is seen finalizing a shady business deal with local mobsters but has no intention of honoring any agreements. As soon as he secures the necessary documents, he betrays them without remorse, swiftly defeating all assailants before coldly ordering their burial alive. Back in Hong Kong, Dragon meets with Cheung, a local triad boss who informs him of Sonny's treachery, hijacking a significant deal, murdering Cheung's men, and claiming everything for himself. Cheung wants Dragon to handle this escalating threat. It is here that a haunting revelation emerges. 6 years prior, Dragon had fought alongside Sonny and saved his life during a violent bar brawl. This personal history adds layers to their conflict, recalling how Dragon once taught Sonny the art of combat. Later, Dragon briefs his handler on the dire situation. The years spent infiltrating the criminal underworld have taken their toll. He is weary from the relentless cycle of violence and deceit. He pleads for release from his undercover assignment, but his handler firmly refuses. There is no one else positioned deep enough within the criminal ranks to take his place. However, he assures Dragon that if he can dismantle Sonny's syndicate, he will advocate for his reinstatement as a regular officer. With a heavy heart, Dragon reluctantly agrees to continue the mission. He is dispatched to the mainland under a new identity and partnered with Officer Fang Jing, a sharp and disciplined officer assigned to assist him. She leads him to his new apartment, where they begin strategizing how to gather solid evidence against Sonny. Given their complicated history, Sonny having once been under Dragon's mentorship, Dragon arranges a meeting at a restaurant. The atmosphere is charged with tension, their shared past looming over them like a dark cloud. Just as their conversation begins to unfold, a sniper opens fire from a nearby rooftop, striking down one of Sonny's men. Chaos erupts in the restaurant. Immediately, Sonny's suspicion flares. He believes Dragon has orchestrated this ambush with the police. He commands his men to eliminate Dragon without hesitation. In the ensuing panic, Dragon makes a frantic dash for his car, desperate to escape, but within moments, he finds himself surrounded by machete-wielding gangsters who block every possible exit. Just when hope seems lost, Officer Fang arrives at the scene, neutralizing several attackers and saving Dragon while also arresting the remaining criminals. At the police station, Sonny undergoes interrogation, but lacking concrete evidence, he is ultimately released. This incident ignites a furious confrontation between Dragon, Fang, and her superior. Dragon expresses his outrage, arguing that acting too hastily could jeopardize his cover entirely. Fang retorts sharply, chastising Dragon for failing to embody the qualities of a true officer, particularly highlighting his reluctance to engage in combat. Shortly thereafter, Chung organizes a meeting with both Sonny and Dragon in an effort to ease escalating tensions. During this gathering, Chung reveals that the sniper was motivated by revenge. He is the brother of the man Sonny had buried alive. Chung provides them with the sniper's address, but as Dragon and Sonny prepare to leave, Chung discreetly informs the assassin about Sonny's intentions to attack him. It becomes evident that Chung is playing both sides, manipulating events to eliminate his rivals and position himself as the dominant force in the underworld. Dragon warns Fang not to trust Chung's information, yet she insists on proceeding with a raid regardless. At the assassin's hideout, they discover the killer already poised with his rifle, ready to strike. In a moment of urgency, Dragon notices two innocent children perilously close to the line of fire. With no time to spare, he creates a diversion that ignites a firefight. The assassin unleashes a barrage of gunfire, wounding several officers before making his escape. Fang manages to corner him inside a warehouse, but in a desperate move, he captures Dragon and uses him as a human shield. Faced with a moral dilemma between her duty and her fears, Fang hesitates. Ultimately, she takes the shot, killing the assassin and freeing Dragon. Later that night, Dragon finds Fang grappling with guilt over her first kill. He reassures her that her decision was necessary for their survival. Meanwhile, Sonny grows increasingly suspicious of Dragon and invites him to his penthouse. There, he unveils the extent of his empire, money laundering operations, intricate blackmail schemes, and methods of exploiting the wealthy elite. Before Dragon departs, Sonny delivers a chilling warning. Should he uncover any betrayal, he will first kill Long's mother and then come for him. Unbeknownst to Sonny, Dragon has secretly recorded their entire meeting and live-streamed it directly to police headquarters. However, when he returns the next day, he finds the penthouse completely stripped bare. On a keyboard, a note instructs him to press a button. As he contemplates this cryptic message, hospital surveillance footage emerges, revealing members of Dragon's former crew, injured from previous altercations, confessing to other gangsters that Dragon is a police informant. Panicked, Long races home, but he arrives too late. Sonny has already targeted his mother. In a brutal act of retribution for Dragon's perceived betrayal, she is viciously beaten into unconsciousness. When Dragon bursts through the door, he is met with the horrifying sight of her bloodied and barely alive form. Without hesitation, he lifts her onto his back and rushes her to the hospital. Once the doctors stabilize her condition, Dragon's resolve crystallizes. He will end Sonny's reign of terror at any cost. Despite Fang and her superior urging caution, Dragon remains steadfast, refusing to back down. Meanwhile, Fang confronts Chung in a nightclub restroom, accusing him of orchestrating the chaos that has engulfed both Sonny and Dragon. Enraged, Chung attacks her with brutal force, but before he can escape, her superior bursts in with backup, apprehending him on the spot. At the same time, Dragon spots Sonny in a parking lot, igniting a relentless high-speed chase through the city. Tires screech and engines roar as they weave through traffic. In a daring move, Fang leaps from an overpass and lands directly on Sonny's speeding vehicle. She fights him through the shattered windshield. But Sonny ultimately overpowers her, throwing her from the car, and she crashes onto the pavement, injured. Fueled by rage, Dragon charges in and collides with Sonny's car with bone-crushing force. The impact sends Sonny's vehicle flipping off the bridge in a fiery explosion. Both men crawl from the wreckage, bloodied but alive. What ensues is a brutal hand-to-hand combat that tests their limits. At last, Long gains the upper hand, slamming Sonny into submission. As police sirens wail in the distance, Dragon cuffs Sonny's wrists, standing over him not as a gangster but as a law enforcement officer. The realization hits Sonny hard, betrayed by the very man he once considered a brother. Later, Long receives uplifting news from Fang. She places a badge in his hand, announcing that with her full endorsement, he has been officially accepted into the mainland Chinese police force. For the first time in years, Dragon's true identity is no longer shrouded in deception. He is finally recognized as a legitimate officer, reclaiming his name, Chen Long. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a wonderful day.